After weeks of snapshots and pre-releases, the Trails and Tales update is finally upon us. And let's be honest, this update was kind of a weird one. It's been a hot minute since we had a major update that didn't have some kind of theme. Like, you know, it's cool that we got all these miscellaneous fixes, but it's still kind of weird, you know? Anyways, we got a lot of funky new stuff now. Some of it's great, and some of it is less great. And today we're gonna be ranking every new feature. Every mob, every block, every biome, everything. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as I mind-splain all my 1.20 hot takes. And don't forget to drop a like on the video too. Alright, we are here in the 1.20 update. You can see the trees, you can see the camels, you can see all the other things, and I am very excited to be here. We're once again using the familiar tier list setup that I'm sure you guys are familiar with, where anything in S tier is fantastic, A tier is pretty good, B tier is decent, C tier is I'm not really a huge fan, and F tier is cringe. On our left here, we've got every single new feature in the 1.20 update, starting with the big boys right here. The Archeology mechanic, the Trail Ruin structure, armor trims as a mechanic, the cherry wood set, and the bamboo wood set. Over in the middle here, we got the slightly less impactful changes, but still very important stuff. The sniffer and all of the little sniffer items, the camel, decorated pots, calibrated skulk sensors, the cherry biome, hanging signs, and the chisel bookshelf. Over on this column, we've got the miscellaneous fixes, we've got the quality of life stuff such as editable signs, the netherite crafting tweak, universal dyeing, armor templates, sherds, and of course the new relic music disc. There's a whole lot of stuff packed into this update, so let's get right into the rankings. Starting off with the smaller things here, we've got editable signs. And I think this needs no explanation. This is a fantastic feature that frankly should have been in the game a long time ago, but you know, it's here now and I'm not complaining. These guys are not only editable like so, but they're also double-sided. This is just so cool. I love everything about this. S tier feature for sure. The netherite crafting tweak is a little bit of a weird one. Just for a little bit of context, I'm sure you guys already know this, but in the last few updates, all you really needed to do was supply a piece of diamond gear and a netherite ingot and you could create netherite gear from it. And now you need this additional item, the netherite upgrade. It's found in bastions, in particular the treasure bastion, and once you have it, it's pretty easy to duplicate it. You just need a handful of diamonds, but it's just feels a little bit unnecessary, you know? Like, we already had this perfectly fine system. Netherite was already like pretty hard to come by, and then now it kind of just seems like another random use to kind of drain everyone's diamond resources, you know? This one's going in C tier. Universal dyeing, like editable signs, is something that we should have had in Minecraft a long time ago, and it's been available in the vanilla tweaks data packs, and of course we only have it available for like wool items, so you know, wool blocks, beds, and carpets. It's a really fantastic change, definitely a long overdue one. I'm just waiting for them to add it for all the other blocks, you know, concrete, terracotta, glass, all that stuff. S tier for sure. Armor templates are another kind of controversial thing in this game. Of course, they allow you to add armor trims, which is fantastic. Let's be real, that's a fantastic upgrade. I really like how almost every generated structure now has the ability to give you these armor templates. I just wish it was a little bit less difficult to find the exact one you want. Like, let's be real here. Some armor templates are way better than others, and yeah, people are going to quickly be able to figure out exactly which templates they want, and then certain structures are going to be rated a whole lot more than other ones. It's a pretty good feature, but I wouldn't put it in S tier. Sherds are kind of just sherds. I don't know, like, they're a new item, of course, so I wanted to include them in this video, but yeah, they're really just an in-between stage between, you know, getting them out of the ground and putting them in the pots, and I really like all the variety. They're just not very useful on their own. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. It's really cool how there's 20 different varieties. Like, I really love the amount of detail they put into this, but they just don't always feel particularly unique or useful, so it's going in B tier. The relic music disc is a fantastic addition to the game. I don't know if you guys have taken the time to sit down and listen to this bad boy all the way through, but man, it is so good. I really don't even need to say much here. Just go listen to the music disc. It's so good. S tier, easy. All right, moving on to our next category, the kind of middle of the road stuff, you know, the stuff that's meaningful changes, but not like total gameplay overhauls like this stuff over here. The sniffer is a pretty cool guy. I mean, we can't forget that this mob, well, not that useful on its own, comes with 3 different items: the sniffer egg, the pitcher plant, and the torch flower. The latter 2 are very cool, unique foliage items that, of course, you can only get from the sniffer mob. Just look at this little guy. Oh my god, he's so cute. Look at him. Oh, thank you. Pitcher pod, thank you very much, my guy. I love the way these guys look. I think they're so cute and so fluffy and adorable, and I just want to have one in real life. Like, look at that stupid nose. Excuse me? Hello? Yeah, thank you. You're a little close for comfort there, buddy. Yeah, so as much as I love the sniffer, I will totally acknowledge that, you know, they are a kind of a pain to get, you know, going through the ocean ruins and waiting for them to hatch and stuff, and you're kind of all just doing that just for 2 individual plants. These guys are pretty cool, but I'm kind of hesitant to put them in S tier, so I think the sniffer is going in A tier. The camel, on the other hand, is, I feel like not as great. Like, no, don't get me wrong, they're cute, and the unique mechanic of having a 2-player rideable mob is certainly a nice novelty, but I don't really think people are going to be using it very often. Like, we've had boats in the game forever, and obviously that's an entity and not a mob, but like, there's already lots of transportation issues in Minecraft with Elytra being blatantly overpowered, and I think people should fix that, but adding in another kind of basically another horse is not really going to fix that problem. Increase minecart speed, Mojang, please! C tier for me. Also going in C tier are the decorated pots, and that might be a little bit of a hot take because I do definitely like these guys in their kind of bland, untextured form. I think they're a nice decorative item, but you know, they're kind of the whole center point of the entire archaeology update, and it's like all this just to get a pot. And you know, it can have cool designs on it, but at the end of the day, it's just a decorative item. It doesn't hold water, it doesn't have any like redstone mechanics, it's literally just a pot. In a similar vein, the chiseled bookshelf is a nice upgrade. Like, I like this texture on the top and the sides, and I appreciate, you know, the little niche redstone mechanics. And don't get me wrong, it is really cool that you can now actually put books into a bookshelf and like take them out and read them and stuff, but I don't really think people will be using this very often. Like, maybe it'll have some niche decorative uses, and maybe it'll have some niche redstone uses, but that's exactly what this block is. Niche. So it's going in C tier as well. Hanging signs are definitely a nice addition to the game. They're a little bit, you know, fussy with how you have to place them. You can't really just put them on the ground. And I really appreciate how we now have another block that comes in all the different wood textures. They're not my favorite thing in the world. I don't think they'll get too much use. You know, they're versatile, but not that versatile. But they're a very solid addition to the game. A tier. The calibrated skulk sensor, I mean, let me get this straight, right? Like, I'm not a redstone guy. I don't really know what this thing does. I watched a couple, you know, videos on it or whatever. I just don't really get what it does, to be honest. From a building standpoint, it's not useful. Like, the regular skulk sensor was already not useful, and this just seems weirder. I feel like people are finding that it's not very useful, you know? Like, of course, this might all entirely change. So, you know, if you're watching this video in the future and the calibrated sensor is incredibly useful, then, you know, feel free to drop a comment saying how wrong I am. But at least right now, right when the update has come out, it really just feels unnecessary. So I'm going to be going ahead and actually putting this in cringe tier. Last but not least for this section, the cherry biome. Like a lot of other things in S tier, this really needs no explanation. I mean, let's just go take a quick look, right? Look at these amazing trees. I love the particle effects coming off of them. I love all the different foliage options with these pink petals. The grass color is nice and vibrant. The wood color is fantastic as well. We'll talk more about that in the next part of the video. This was a bit of an unexpected change for the 1.20 update, but it is definitely a very, very welcome one, and completely deserving of a spot in S tier. All right, moving on to the last category for today's video, the 5 big, meaningful changes to the 1.20 update. Starting off with archaeology as a whole mechanic, right? Like we've talked about sures, we've talked about pots. Wow, that brush is really huge in my hand. But now we're talking about just the entire mechanic of finding the suspicious sand and gravel, extracting the items, the loot tables that come from it, and of course the crafting of the pots and all that stuff. And honestly, it's okay. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a really neat mechanic that definitely adds some more, you know, flavor and lore into individual Minecraft worlds, but for something that's been teased for like 3 years now? Like, we were talking about this back in 1.17. It's kinda underwhelming, to be honest. It's going in B tier. Trail ruins, on the other hand, are a pretty interesting structure. Like, let's go take a look at them real quick. And not gonna lie, when these first came out, they did not look good. I was not a fan of the structures. They were definitely too jumbled up, too messy, too just chaotic, and they just didn't really feel right. But I think they've cleaned them up and improved them a lot with a lot of like community feedback and stuff since then, and I'm really quite proud of how they look now. And granted, the common loot seems to be pretty negligible. It doesn't seem to be really worth your time to get, but the rare loot, the smithing templates, the sherds and whatnot, that stuff is going to be definitely worth coming back for. These guys are going in A tier. And next up, armor trims. Pretty sure the consensus in the community is that this is a fantastic change, fantastic addition to Minecraft, and I couldn't agree more. The ability to personalize armor to this degree is absolutely incredible, and while it is quite expensive, it's absolutely worth it. Like, look at this. I look freaking badass. Like, this is awesome. I love this so much. It's going to be a massive grind to get, but it is going to be worth it. This is definitely an S tier mechanic. And to end off this video, I mean, we've got the cherry wood and the bamboo wood, which, let's be honest, both of these guys are definitely going in S tier as well. Like, you really can't complain with the sheer amount of blocks we got from this update here. It's really awesome that Mojang is adding all these new wood colors. Like, we got the pink wood and the yellow wood just in this one update, and that is freaking fantastic. I love the new blocks. I love all the different varieties. If I had to pick a favorite, it might actually be the bamboo wood for just how versatile it is. Like, don't get me wrong, the cherry stuff is awesome too, but I feel like most of the awesomeness here comes from the cherry biome and the foliage, not the actual wood set itself. If we're just comparing wood blocks to wood blocks, I'd actually give the edge to bamboo. And with that, guys, that is my ranking of every single new change in the 1.20 update. I'll give you guys a bit of a screenshot here so you can see all of my bad takes laid out for you guys in one board. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next Minecraft ranking video.